Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. We are now on the 7th day of spring, so we've made it 1 week into our second year, and what a busy week it has been. I am back today to just cover a few little things because tomorrow is our Harvest Goddess Festival, and for this festival we need to ask our date a day ahead of the festival. So if we want to attend with a date tomorrow, we have to be sure to ask somebody to go with us today. So we have a lot of different choice in who it is that we want to ask. We have the option of asking Natalie, Julia, Sabrina, or Lana. We can't ask Lily or Chelsea because their hearts are too low, and you actually cannot ask Witch Princess or Shay to this event. I don't really know why that is, but that's just a fact of life. So unfortunately we can't go with Witch Princess, but we went with her on a festival already in the wintertime, so that's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and ship my turnips today. I went and did all of my farm chores off screen just to kind of get that out of the way, but I thought I would show that all the turnips came in today and we can make some much needed and very much appreciated bit of money today on that. Well, the rest of the crops are still coming in. I haven't killed anything yet. All the trees are doing well. I'm just, kind of having to wait for those as well. There's always so much going on recently that I don't really have a ton of time to sort of play on my own. So I don't have a lot of content to really cover. There hasn't really been a whole lot that's gone on. I do have a Sunstone that we can possibly grab today though, which will be great. I kind of stumbled upon it by accident, and I made sure not to grab it so we could get it in a recording. And because it's a rainy day today, we can also trigger Witch's last heart event. The yellow heart event works very similar with Witch Princess like it does with all the other girls. We just have to go to our house in between 10 and 5 o'clock and we can go on a little date with her. The only difference with Witch Princess, of course, is that it has to be a rainy day, and that's been all the way along. All of her heart events require it to be raining, so it's no different for her last one. So she's just doing everything in reverse. It was Julia's birthday yesterday on the 6th, and her heart level didn't change. She's still at an orange heart. I don't want to talk to her because if I talk to her, she'll ask me to go to the festival, and I don't know if declining her affects her heart level at all, so I'd rather wait to see her later and give her a gift later on in the day. And I think I'm going to ask Lana to go with me to this festival, and it's mostly just for the simple reason that I don't feel like fishing for her anymore. I really need to get my fishing Sunstone. So it would be nice just to kind of get a little bit of a boost of affection for bringing her to this festival, maybe push her closer and closer, to a red heart. And then I can save my fish for other things. Wada likes fish, for example. He's now living on the islands full time, and we need to get 2 sunstones from him. Nathan, if we feel like giving him more gifts or befriending him, he likes fish. And if we want to start buttering up some of the wild animals, there's also certain wild animals that like fish as well. So there's a lot of other potential uses for fish, and I don't feel like having to waste my time and energy for fishing for Lana any longer than I have to. Now there are other things that she likes. I mean, I could give her flowers and things like that, so I mean, it's not the end of the world. But we have to pick somebody, and I feel like Lana's kind of on the back burner a lot of the time, so we'll still go ahead and ask her anyways. Alright, so I need an empty slot in my equipment slots, and if I go ahead and select milk, I'm gonna make a quick save here. I want to give the milk to get a recipe from the cafe owner here, because if we learn a recipe from her and she's successful at giving us another one, it should amount to a Sunstone. So she's given us the recipe for ice cream, which is Elisa's favorite gift, which is fantastic that we now know how to make that. And we also get a Sunstone from that. So I do believe it's 30 recipes learned from the cafe you get a Sunstone, and 40 recipes learned at the diner you get another Sunstone. So I was just giving out items for recipes on my off days that I was recording off screen, and I discovered that Sunstone, so I wanted to make sure to obviously nab that on a video so that I remember to write it down and so we can keep better track. So Lana's inside her house. We might as well ask her to go to the Harvest Goddess Festival tomorrow. And she will ask us to meet at the cafe tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. So depending on who you ask, they will ask you to either meet them at the cafe or the diner, and that seems to just depend on where they live. So if you were asking Julia or Natalie, Pierre or Vaughn, they would ask you to meet them at the diner, but if you were asking Lily, Sabrina, Lana, Will, etc., they would ask you to meet them at the cafe. So we just have to make sure to meet them tomorrow at a reasonable time to escort them to the festival. And you want to be sure that you don't stand them up. I made the mistake on my first year of attending the festival on my other file of showing up late, because when Elisa comes to remind you about the festival tomorrow, I think the way that she words it makes it sound like it's an evening festival and that you will be meeting there later, but it's a daytime festival. So for some reason I had gotten mixed up and I went to go meet my date right at 6 o'clock and they were gone, obviously because the festival had ended, and I think you lose like a whopping 10,000 heart points, which is a lot. You definitely do not want to do that. You don't want to make the same mistake that I did. Make sure that you meet them tomorrow during the daytime. Now, when we see Witch Princess's event, it's going to kill a couple of hours of our day. I don't really have a lot going on today, so I'm not overly worried about it. But I guess what I'll do is I'll go to the Mystic Islands and just do a little bit of item roundup here, and then I don't have to come back here later. And my inventory once again is getting a real full, because because now we're back to sort of juggling different herbs and different flowers and things that we are picking up here. So I just have to be careful to sort everything. So I'll just pick up the few herbs, flowers, and things like that I can, and then we will quickly race back to the house to watch Witch Princess's date event. Which will be nice, because then we don't have to keep banking on rainy days to hopefully be able to see her events. We can just kind of focus on the rest of the date events that happen on sunny days, because obviously there's a lot more sun than there is rain in this game. I've already gone ahead and I've shipped all those turnips, so I know I'm also going to make some money today. So if there's anything else I want to put into the shipping box, I should do that now. There's a few things. I don't have to hold on to things as much anymore, just because we've kind of reached a point where I don't need to keep a lot of this stuff for gifts and things like that. Or there's certain things that I was keeping just for the sake of bringing it to the diner or the cafe, or for gifts, or things like that. So I can be a little bit more generous with what I throw into the shipping bin if I know I don't need it for anything. Nick, I'm coming in. It's so nice and rainy out. Take me somewhere. I actually really like rainy days, so I dig this. Let's go. I am so excited to see where you'll take me. Ooh, Mushroom Island, how romantic. There's nothing here. How could you take me to such a boring place? Is there something over there? What is this? What a huge mushroom! I've never seen one like this before. Maybe it mutated. Come to think of it, this island was underwater for a while. Maybe that's why it got so big. Can you help me take this mushroom home? How? How couldn't I look into something as interesting as this? Now hurry! What? You won't listen to me? Impossible, you say? Nick, I didn't think there was anything you couldn't do. Ah well. Come to think of it, I'd hardly have room in my house. Sorry I was being so selfish. Thanks for taking me to such a great place today. A lot happened, but it was still fun. Like I've said before, never a dull moment with Witch Princess. I like all of her events. They've all been pretty interesting. She's either been telling us a story, or she's been experimenting with some sort of spell or potion or something like that. So that's it for Witch Princess. We've now seen all of her events. There's nothing more to see there. We just have to wait until she gets up to a high enough level to be able to propose to her, and then that can pretty much be done at any time after that. If she wins in the poll, I'll be marrying her, and if she doesn't win in the poll, you will all be able to see her hard events and her proposal and all that when I upload it to YouTube anyways, so it's kind of a win-win. So I've pretty much done everything that I wanted to do today. There's not really much else on the agenda, but before I go, I want to check Mushroom Island. I want to go and make sure that my pig is being fed, and I did see some stuff on the ground when we were there, with Witch Princess. So, do a little bit of foraging. Because I don't know how much time I'll have tomorrow. It is a festival, so I will be doing that for a good chunk of the day. I gotta remember to speak to Wada today too. Gotta keep talking to him until he'll accept my gifts. And it looks like my pig is fed. I put out some extra food for it, and I think I fed it an herb. Which is just something I like to do if I have the extra herb. It helps its friendship along a little bit. I don't know that it really makes a huge difference, but it's still a nice gesture to hand feed your animals. Because in this game, the pig is actually the only animal that you can do that with, whereas in other Harvest Moon games you can hand feed most of your barn animals. So that pretty much wraps things up. Like I said, not a whole lot of content to cover today, but we did get a few things done. Got ourselves a Sunstone, watched a hard event. We have ourselves a date for tomorrow. And don't worry, of course, if Lana isn't your first choice or you're not interested in taking her, but you are curious to see what the other dates look like, then of course I will be recording those and uploading those at a later date, as I usually do. And we also got our first harvest of the season today, which is pretty exciting. I went ahead and sold those, and I made quite a bit of money. I mean, I did throw in some other things like some flowers and bamboo shoots and things like that, but most of that money from today came from turnips, so I made over $4,000 today. We've got almost $13,000 in total, which is great because we need to start looking into some more upgrades and tools and things like that, so we will slowly build all of those totals as the days go on. I will be back tomorrow to cover our Harvest Goddess Festival. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.